Origins of the common law. System law in England. It was born with the so-called curias regis, like the famous Westminster Curia, whose main function was the application of justice throughout England and the installation of a feudal system. It was taken its way, considering the way to solve a case in a court for the resolution of other similar situations, owing more to the procedure than to the idea of justice. That is, it was a system oriented to efficient rules to ensure a case and not to the protection of rights based on judicial precedent. This was true until the 19th century. Because the decisions were not entirely fair, another institution that is part of the system law in England, that is equity, is born, consists in the application of legal principles in a satisfactory and correct manner for a specific case. American system. It arises through colonization, where the English implement their right to the original colonies. However, this was only possible to the extent that the English common law will adapt to the living conditions of the settler. Over time, the colonies of the United States creating a particular system of government for each one of them, since the rules created in a feudal system were no longer effective for the solution of the new problem of the settler. With the War of Revolution and later the American independence, the United States became a federal republic, adopting a political constitutional organization generating a federal and state right. However, this right remains based on the common law, as it was difficult to dispense with concepts and techniques, but influenced by the French Revolution and its codified system, together with its American ideals and national sentiment. Americans have a more flexible and less formalistic right.
The customary law. In England, common law becomes its ordinance the sheets and comparison of the normative bodies that were applying to different to rings this way in different rates and charges called common law today. English law is unofficial codified published in land, then result for a legal free class. Case legal status are also published. Unified highlight or Howard, the office of the Queen. In the public sector publishes a legal libraries of things legal status. In the English common law system, we have main source, jurisprudence, law, custom, doctrine, and reason. The American legal system is based on English law. The Constitution of the United States. For example, incorporates the principle common law. El system things allows judicial courts to correct and preserve law. The principal guarantees that people are judged from in similar judicial case to the principle of equality. The strengths of common law in the United States derived from the and respected high fought the constitutional. The law of the United States is jurisprudential right with the independence of the legislative faculties in the way that the law is Instagram by boy of ungrateful law that is for in the legal norms by the courts or jurisdiction and the principal arise for the jurisprudential norm. In this instance, in common law of the United States, the jurisprudencia de what case criminals. Den judges, den judicial sentencia, den precedent, den doctrina and custom. The penal crucis in the Unitil Code raises attention from professional judges beyond 19 parties of criminal cases and try in lower courts halt of the time the UP judges have are not certified to implement the law and the right case judges for bigger professional judges civils case or whether are judges be titulary certificate in law system down Unistative Review Board criminal and CC alike wherein the cause of unminai race are
The legal systems in the English common law have diverged so much from the original system that the legal approaches of common law countries can differ from one another as much as they do from civil law countries. England and the US have had so many legal differences that they are sometimes described as two countries separated by a common law. The greatest differences are found in the area of public law. As mentioned before, England has no written constitution and restricts judicial review. However, every court in the US has the power to pass judgment on the conformity of legislation and on other official actions to constitutional norms. The US has had many areas of its law constitutionalized throughout the years because of the increase in judicial power. The difference in US public law has also been affected due to its complex federal system and its presidential form of government, which is considerably different from England's parliamentary form of government. We can view these various differences by focusing on different areas of public law. Personal law, such as nationality, capacity, and domicile, has transformed throughout the years due to the advance of principle of the equality of sexes. In the area of divorce law, most common law countries have had similar grounds on the matter, but the major difference between the US and English common laws is seen in the legal treatment of the economic consequences of divorce. Most countries follow the English model that allows judges to use their own discretion in reallocating the property and income of the parts in a way that is fair. The American model, however, sticks to the principle of equality rather than the division of assets. Property and succession is also an area where slight differences between common law can be observed. In the English model, the transfer of land is governed by a system of title legislation, whereas in the American model, separate deeds are recorded and title insurance is used to protect the purchaser. Tort law, or law relating to civil wrongs, has had various differences as well. In the field of libel, U.S. practice is less strict than the English. In the U.S., public figures cannot sue for honest but unfair and untrue criticism of their activities. In England, however, all published facts must be true and their comments fair. Contracts have a very striking difference related to the written nature of laws. In the U.S., third parties can enforce the contract if they are beneficiaries, and contracts are often called with written evidence. In the English system, third parties are not allowed this right, and they do not call for written evidence. One of the most striking differences can be observed in criminal law. Important differences do appear in the rules of criminal procedure. In England, this rests on modern legislation. Accused persons may now testify at the trial or not, as they wish. They are entitled to legal counsel and they are assisted out of public funds when they are accused of serious crimes and are unable to afford to pay the costs themselves. In the United States, criminal procedure has become a constitutional matter, with a kind of federal common law of criminal procedure